Well, I have a caller by the name of Linda. She just happens to be the Shadow Minister for Social Services. Good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
That's fine.
Oh, boy. Look, we have got so much to talk about. I've had some of you colleagues on during the week, from Anthony Albanese to Andrew Miles, plenty of others. They've all come to the same conclusion that I think most people with common sense should come to, and that is JobKeeper needs to be extended, or there needs to be some sort of other support available out there, Linda.
Yes, Labor always argued that the government pulled JobKeeper off too early. And, of course, we've got Andrew Lee at the moment talking about the incredible profits some companies have made during COVID and also collected JobKeeper, which is one of the biggest financial rorts in Australian history. But what I'm proposing today, Marcus, is that those people who are on JobSeeker, which is the old New Start, many of those people work a few additional hours to supplement the JobKeeper amount, which is very low, as we know.
Yes, it is.
And because they are already on a social security payment, it makes them ineligible for the disaster payment, which is $600 a week as opposed to $375 or something like that a week. We are arguing, because the government is too stubborn to bring back JobKeeper, we are arguing that those people who have lost hours who are on JobSeeker should automatically receive the disaster payment, and then when the pandemic settles down, they should be able to go back onto JobSeeker without having to jump through massive bureaucratic hoops and wait until JobSeeker is reinstated. That is something that's sensible, and the Department of Social Services is absolutely capable of doing it.
Well, I agree entirely. Look, if a worker is entitled to a higher payment, they should receive it automatically. People shouldn't have to jump through hoops, fill out multiple forms, all of the red tape that we endlessly allow, keep expecting Australians to fill out during desperate times, even during a pandemic. They shouldn't be jumping through hoops to get the assistance that they have been promised.
Well, they are being denied that assistance at the moment because they are on a social security payment, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you're a morning radio presenter, so you would have a terrific idea, Marcus, of the level of frustration and the level of desperation that people feel, and that are, there's something like 18 million people in Australia locked down at the moment, including those of us that live in Sydney. And people should not have to be worried about the fact that they've lost hours and they are not eligible for the higher payment.
Well, you, Bill Shorten, also Murray Watt, you're all calling for this.
Yes, we
he's
are
in charge of the emergency management from the opposition's point of view, and Bill Shorten, of course, is the disability spokesman. You're demanding the coalition government give an, quote, ironclad guarantee, unquote, the waiting period would be waived for people moving back onto JobSeeker from the disaster payment. The scheme provides, as we know, up to $600 a week for those in hotspot areas who have lost at least 20 hours of work in a 7-day period, $375 for those who have lost between 8 and 19 hours. And you're absolutely right, Linda, because we've been hearing from people all week who ring and say, look, I'm on this benefit, but I don't have access to the government's emergency payment.
That's correct.
What am I going to do,
Well, I just think that's terribly unfair, and the government has the capacity to change things. We're not talking about a higher payment forever. We're talking about a higher payment for a certain amount of people who should be eligible for it. But at the moment, they're not, which is terribly unfair, given the circumstances in at least 3 states in Australia.
Well, and it's been even further exacerbated now. We've got a lockdown here in the obviously the area that I'm broadcasting in into southeast Queensland, which is a part of our network. I'm having people ring us from the border already this morning saying, I'm in this so-called bubble. I'm allowed to travel into southeast Queensland for work, but I don't know if I want to go to work today, Marcus. I don't feel like sitting in a line for an hour and a half just across the border. So,
absolutely, Marcus. I mean, governments should be used to these circumstances by now. And I do think you need to stand in the shoes of people that are doing it really, really tough.
Yeah.
4 or 5 people in a household, the fear of being infected, elderly parents, and people are confused. And the messaging has been absolutely atrocious about what people are eligible for. We are arguing that people that you've outlined should be on the higher payment, and it is a simple thing for government to do.
All right. It's really wonderful to have you on the program, Linda. It's the first time you and I have chatted. I'm sorry about the little miscommunication at the start there.
That's okay.
It's what happens at hundreds of calls at any given time.
It's a busy time.
Absolutely. Linda, thank you. We will talk again, soon, I am sure.
Thank you, Mark.